An ominous tip hints a looming terrorist attack targeting the high-stakes World Leaders Conference. In the shadows, Batman assembles Wonder Woman, Flash, and Martian Manhunter to stake out the event, while Superman, disguised as Clark Kent, keeps a vigilant eye from within the press corps. Outside, amidst the tension, sparks fly as John Stewart, Green Lantern, takes a moment to flirt with Hawkgirl. The two have recently fallen in love. The night before, Hawkgirl visited John to check on him after the grave injury he sustained. He had sacrificed himself to protect her from the Joker's bomb. Waking up, he confronted her, expressing that it was time they faced the truth about their feelings. Although she initially had tried to avoid the subject, worried that a relationship might interfere with their duties, John reassured her. He pointed out that despite their differences, what mattered was how they felt. Gently removing her headdress, he saw her true face, and they shared their first kiss. Embracing their newfound connection, they spent their first night together. Now, with their relationship deepening, they face both the challenges of their bond and the imminent threat hurtling toward Earth. The Air Force Command Center detects an incoming object, and the military's weapons prove useless against it. With every passing second, its intimidating presence becomes increasingly undeniable. Sensing the looming danger, the Justice League is called into action. The League attempts to counterattack, but they are no match for the battleship's weapons. Diana and Lantern fall as Flash is quick enough to save them. Soon, when the battleship attacks the conference building, Superman and Martian fly towards it, only to be taken down with its force field quite easily. As the League regroups, an even larger alien battleship emerges, obliterating the attack craft and causing it to crash. Hawkgirl recognizes the triumphant ship. It belongs to her own people, the Thanagarian. A scouting vessel descends to Earth to meet with them. The ship's commander, Hro Talak, requests an audience with Earth's leaders. At a global conference, they introduce their race to humanity. He reveals that Hawkgirl is actually a lieutenant in the Thanagarian military, sent to Earth as an advanced scout and ambassador to prepare for their arrival. Talak explains that for decades, Thanagar has been at war with a vicious alien race known as the Gordanians, who have now targeted Earth for invasion. He offers Earth's defense the full might of the Thanagarian army. Soon after, John confronts Hawkgirl, asking what else she has kept secret. Before she can answer them, Talak appears and kisses her in front of John. Uncomfortably, she admits that she and Talak are engaged. John is heartbroken by this turn of events, but ever the Marine, he keeps a professional demeanor and doesn't react viscerally. Moments later, while Superman and Wonder Woman confer with the world's leaders and military heads on how to approach the situation, Green Lantern leaves the meeting. Batman finds John Stewart alone and offers words of consolation.
You didn't know she was spoken for.
How did you?
It wasn't hard to figure out.
John tries to avoid the subject and begins to walk away, but Jean Jones appears, also attempting to console him, revealing that he knows how hard it is for two people who are so deeply involved. Just then, Flash interrupts them and, much to his surprise and disbelief, discovers the relationship between Green Lantern and Hawkgirl. John asks the Martian why he never read Shayera's mind. John replies that he never could, further revealing that he can't read any of the Thanagarians' minds, a fact that raises Batman's suspicions. Back aboard the Thanagarian warship, Shayera and Hro Talak share a quiet moment in his chambers. He offers her food and drinks from their homeworld, a taste she hasn't savored in 5 long years. Just as they're about to kiss, they're interrupted by his second-in-command. Having witnessed the overwhelming power of the Gordanian ship, Earth's leaders feel they have little choice but to accept the Thanagarians' offer of assistance. Talak orders work to commence immediately, exchanging a brief, cryptic conversation with his second-in-command about Shayera. Without delay, the Thanagarians begin constructing a massive generator in the Gobi Desert, claiming it will provide a planetary defense shield. Even the desert people are amazed by what's happening around them. Green Lantern helps with the construction work and ignores Shayera when she comes to talk with him. Even Flash doesn't approve of Shayera going for Commander Talak as her partner, but he shows some signs of humanity when he saves a baby goat from the bulldozers and hands it to Flash for safekeeping. Batman, ever the skeptic, grows suspicious of the sudden turn of events. Alongside Diana, he examines the remains of a dead Gordanian.
You don't know anything about Gordanian physiology.
No, but I know a frozen liver when I see one.
His keen detective skills reveal that the Gordanians had been dead long before their ship appeared on Earth. This means the supposed attack was a ruse to gain Earth's trust, suggesting that Hro Talak has a hidden agenda. Determined to uncover the truth, Batman infiltrates the Thanagarian mothership disguised as a delegate. Breaking away from the main group, he slips into the command center. There, he overhears a communication between Talak and the leaders of Thanagar. They discuss how the Gordanians are closing in on their homeworld and are actually nowhere near Earth. The entire invasion story was a fabrication. Before he can gather more information, Batman is discovered by Kragger, Talak's second-in-command. A brief but intense skirmish ensues between Batman and several Thanagarian soldiers. Despite his skill, Batman is eventually overpowered and knocked unconscious. However, not before he manages to relay a warning to Wonder Woman about the Thanagarians' true intentions. Diana quickly contacts Superman, who is assisting with the construction of the massive generator in the Gobi Desert. Just as she begins to explain, the Watchtower comes under attack. The Thanagarian armada breaches the landing bay, having gained access using stolen codes. Wonder Woman confronts them, fighting valiantly, but ultimately, she too is overwhelmed and defeated. Superman urgently instructs Green Lantern and Flash to head to the Watchtower using the Javelin, but before they can reach it, their aircraft is suddenly blasted out by a Thanagarian officer. So, the Thanagarians officially turn on the Justice League. Hawkgirl sees Parandul open fire on her teammates and stops her. A nearby construction worker witnesses the betrayal and quickly alerts General Wells, who orders an immediate counterattack. Rockets soar toward the Thanagarian warship, but the assault is futile. The Thanagarians effortlessly disable the missiles, tanks, and rifles, demanding that Earth's military surrender or face annihilation. A fierce battle erupts as Superman, Flash, John Jones, and Green Lantern confront the Thanagarian forces. One by one, they're overpowered. Superman is weakened by crippling kryptonite energy beams. Flash is ensnared by anti-gravity traps that suspend him helplessly in midair. Parandul shocks Jean into unconsciousness with a brutal energy blast. Desperate, Green Lantern tries to fly his fallen comrades to safety, but Kragger traps them within an unbreakable force field. Struggling to free himself, John suddenly sees Hawkgirl approaching. Hope flickers for a moment, but it's quickly extinguished. She deceives him into lowering his power ring, her eyes betraying no hint of remorse. In a swift, heartbreaking motion, she strikes him down with her mace and confiscates his ring. The last thing John sees before darkness overtakes him is Shaira standing triumphantly beside Hro Talak, the weight of her betrayal crashing down upon him. A Thanagarian unit takes control of the Watchtower, while the rest of their forces occupy Earth. Thus ends the era of humanity, and begins the era of Thanagarian. The US Army is in a state of panic, having no control over their own weapons. The military chief urgently calls for an emergency meeting with all high-ranking officials, but even this gathering is abruptly interrupted by the Thanagarian leader, Hro Talak, who has a special message for them. Hro Talak warns Earth's leaders that the Thanagarians are now occupying the planet and that the Justice League is in custody. He commends Hawkgirl for her invaluable assistance in their successful takeover. When Shaira asks about the League's condition, Talak instructs his subordinate, Kragger, to show her the captive heroes aboard their shuttle. As they walk through the stark corridors, Shaira witnesses her teammates in dire straits. Flash is trapped in a heavy gravity field, every moment a struggle. Superman is weakened, enveloped in red sun radiation that saps his powers. Green Lantern and Batman have their hands and wrists encased in restraint cuffs. Batman's are notably secured behind his back. Kragger eyes Shaira with growing suspicion, sensing her lingering sympathies for the League and the people of Earth. He coldly suggests that she eliminate them to prevent any future threats, but Shaira counters, arguing that killing the heroes would ignite a planet-wide revolt, a risk they cannot afford. After Hawkgirl watches the shuttle take off for its destination, a guard delivers prison food to Diana. With her arms bound, she slyly goads him into feeding her, reminding him of Hawkgirl's explicit orders. Reluctantly, he holds out a morsel speared on his dagger. Seizing the moment, she bites his hand, snatching the dagger between her teeth. The dagger flies from her grasp. As alarms blare throughout the facility, Diana races out of her cell. Batman catches her eye.
The force field!
She swiftly opens his cell, and together they fend off the incoming guards. Batman takes down a guard near Flash's cell. Once freed, Flash snatches the guard's keys and unlocks Batman's restraints. They then assist the weakened Superman and J'onn J'onzz out of their cells. On Batman's suggestion, they arm themselves with fallen weapons to even the odds. Flash frees John Stewart, who turns his restraint into a makeshift bludgeon. A newly arrived guard aims a powerful cannon at Diana. Before he can fire, Superman hurls a weapon that strikes the guard, causing him to misfire. The blast tears a destructive gash through the shuttle's hull. With his strength returning, Superman lifts Batman and grabs Flash, escape through the breach, soaring above Metropolis as the shuttle spirals out of control and crash lands into the harbor. Upon landing back on the main ship, the guards inform the Thanagarian High Command about the prisoner's escape. Commander Talak orders a thorough search for the League among the citizens. Meanwhile, the Justice League eludes the Thanagarian patrols scouring the city for them. Seeking refuge, they find themselves inside a department store. Deciding to stay hidden, they discard their iconic costumes and change into civilian clothes. Flash protests due to secret identity reasons, but Batman cuts him off.
Wally West, Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne. Show off.
The League splits into pairs, and, following Bruce's suggestion, heads towards Gotham City, 30 miles away, to regroup at Wayne Manor. Aboard the Thanagarian mothership, Hro Talak unveils the true purpose behind their mission. The supposed force field generator is actually a hyperspace bypass generator, the final link in a series of wormhole relays. This device will allow the Thanagarians to bypass the Gordanians' defenses and launch a direct assault on their homeworld, aiming to finally end the war. Hawkgirl protests, pointing out that Earth will be destroyed in the process. To Talak and his followers, however, it's a tragic but necessary sacrifice for the greater good. Meanwhile, on the streets below, a confrontation erupts between a group of young men and Thanagarian soldiers, inadvertently endangering a nearby couple right in front of Bruce and Diana. Acting swiftly, Diana takes flight to save the couple, momentarily revealing her powers. Batman engages the soldiers, but in the scuffle, they risk exposing their identities. As the situation escalates, a compassionate East Indian restaurant owner steps in to help. He quickly ushers Bruce and Diana into his establishment, disguising them as a pair of lovers sharing an intimate meal.
Has anyone entered here recently?
No.
What about those two?
They lovers. Been here for hours.
Satisfied with his explanation, the soldiers leave. Grateful for his assistance, Bruce and Diana thank the owner as he discreetly guides them out through the kitchen's delivery entrance. At a bustling train station, Wally and John stand in line to board. Wally can't believe that Batman is actually Bruce Wayne, while John is astonished at how quickly the Thanagarians have taken over Earth. Their conversation halts when they notice a checkpoint at the front of the line. Staying in line risks exposure, but running would draw unwanted attention. Just then, Clark and J'onn arrive and spot their predicament. Clark steps in, using his daytime job, a reporter seeking an interview, with J'onn posing as his photographer. This clever distraction allows Wally and John to slip onto the train unnoticed. Meanwhile, back in the Thanagarian mothership, Hawkgirl is horrified upon learning the full extent of their plan. She pleads with Talak to build the hyperspace bypass generator on a desolate planet or moon instead. Talak dismisses her concerns, arguing that such a change would throw off their calculations by more than 5 years. Shayera insists that no war justifies destroying an innocent world. Their tense exchange is interrupted by Kragger, who reports they've lost the League. Smirking at Shayera, he insinuates that she might know where they are. Enraged, she slams him against a console by the neck. "Tread lightly if you want to make it home," she warns before storming out. As she leaves, Kragger smiles slyly, hinting at deeper suspicions. Later, Wally and John arrive at Wayne Manor, where they are greeted by Alfred Pennyworth. He leads them down to the Batcave, where the rest of the League is already assembled. The team brings Wally and John up to speed as they grapple with why the Thanagarians are truly on Earth. Clark points out that it's obviously not to protect humanity, but Wonder Woman is puzzled. If Earth isn't in any danger, then why are they building the force field? Suddenly, to everyone's astonishment, Hawkgirl reveals herself and admits she can explain the Thanagarians' plans. The room erupts in anger. The League members nearly prepare to attack her until Hawkgirl insists she's there to help. Hawkgirl explains that the Thanagarians are actually constructing a hyperspace bypass, which will destroy the entire planet. She hands Bruce the data on the project, revealing she didn't know their true intentions until now. One by one, the League turns their backs on her, leaving only Hawkgirl and Jon Stewart together.
I did what I thought was right then, and that's what I'm doing now.
Unbeknownst to her, Krager has planted a bug on Shayera, allowing the Thanagarians to track her to the League's hideout. It seems the Thanagarians are always a step ahead of the League. As soon as Shayera returns to the mothership, she's shocked when Krager orders her arrest. He brings her before Commander Hro Talak and plays a recording of her conversation with the League, exposing both her betrayal and her affection for Jon Stewart. Heartbroken and enraged, Talak orders her imprisonment. In a fit of anger, he strikes Krager for revealing such devastating news, then commands an immediate attack on the newly discovered Wayne Manor. Meanwhile, Krager leads a strike team to Wayne Manor to eliminate the League. Alfred Pennyworth is the first to encounter the wrath of the Thanagarian soldiers. The Thanagarians descend the stairs into the Batcave, but find it seemingly empty. Suddenly, from the shadows of the cave, the League launches a surprise attack. Now fully powered, the League repels the attack and captures several prisoners. When Jean tries to pilot Krager's ship, he finds himself unable to operate it. Determined to find the necessary information, he delves into Krager's mind. However, Krager's mental defenses manifest as ferocious hawks that attack Jean so intensely that his wounds begin to appear physically. Despite the onslaught, Jean manages to topple the mental barriers within Krager, obtaining the information he needs while leaving Krager temporarily catatonic.
I've asked Master Bruce to refrain from leaving trash in the yard.
Batman is in command of their strategy. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern will attack the command ship to shut down the force field protecting the hyperspace generator. Meanwhile, Batman, Flash, and Jean will infiltrate the Watchtower using the strike team's shuttle, with Jean disguising himself as Krager to help incapacitate the occupying forces. Once they've retaken the Watchtower, Batman reveals his daring plan: to take the Watchtower out of orbit and use it as a missile to destroy the generator. The League members load the unconscious Thanagarians into escape pods. However,
Hey! What are you doing?
I can't risk having the Watchtower burn up on re-entry. I'll have to guide it in manually. Gentlemen, it's been an honor.
he bids his comrades farewell. He is well and truly the Dark Knight, my friends. While Superman and Wonder Woman engage the Thanagarian fighters in a fierce aerial battle, Green Lantern infiltrates the command ship to disable the force field protecting the hyperspace generator. Commander Hro Talak awaits him, determined not only to thwart Batman's suicidal mission, but also to exact revenge on Lantern for his stolen love. As Wonder Woman fights her way through another part of the ship, she comes across Hawkgirl's cell. Though bitterness lingers between them, she chooses to release Shayera. Hawkgirl swiftly arms herself with an nth metal mace. With the generator now complete, the Thanagarians initiate the activation sequence to open the hyperspace gate. Meanwhile, the Watchtower hurtles down through Earth's atmosphere, piloted by Batman, who is securely strapped into the command seat. As the heat intensifies, the station begins to break apart. He checks in with Superman to ask about the status of the force field. Realizing the imminent danger, Superman breaks away from the battle and races to intercept him. In the control room, Green Lantern fiercely battles Hro Talak, but is ultimately overpowered. Talak slices into Lantern's hand, causing him to lose his power ring and rendering him defenseless. As Lantern collapses, Talak raises his battle axe. At that critical moment, Hawkgirl intervenes, confronting her ex-fiancé in a desperate fight.
Was he worth it?
This isn't about him, it's about us. Don't kill these innocent people, Hro. Find another way.
Regaining consciousness, Green Lantern musters the strength to attack Talak once more, provoking Talak's rage. Enraged, Talak swings his axe with full force. Lantern dodges aside, causing Talak to inadvertently smash the force field controls behind him. The resulting explosion knocks Talak out, and the shield drops. With Shayera's help, Lantern deactivates the force field. Meanwhile, Superman races toward the plummeting Watchtower as Batman, overwhelmed by heat and smoke, finally passes out. Superman breaches its hull and rescues Batman moments before impact. The Watchtower crashes into the generator, destroying it completely. Superman and Batman share a brief, knowing smile.
Always have to be the hero, don't you?
Right back at you.
Aboard the ship, Green Lantern and Hawkgirl are confronted by more Thanagarian soldiers. Just as the tension mounts, Wonder Woman arrives to assist. However, Commander Hro Talak intervenes, ordering his men to stand down, acknowledging that their mission has failed and that further occupation of Earth is pointless. Back at Wayne Manor, Hawkgirl watches a news report with visible heartache as her people end their occupation and depart from Earth, thanks to the Justice League's efforts. She waits anxiously while the League debates whether to allow her to remain with them. Serving her tea, Alfred tells her that regardless of what the others decide, her actions saved Earth at great personal sacrifice, and he will always consider her a hero. In the conference room of Wayne Manor, tensions run high as the Justice League debates Hawkgirl's fate. Flash and Wonder Woman stand as the strongest voices for and against her. Wonder Woman votes against allowing Hawkgirl to remain, reminding everyone of her betrayal and how she exposed their vulnerabilities. Flash, however, argues passionately in her favor, pointing out that Hawkgirl ultimately came through for them, as she always has, and was caught in an impossible situation. J'onn J'onzz sides with Flash, emphasizing that they are all Hawkgirl has left. Meanwhile, Hawkgirl waits nervously outside, the weight of the world on her shoulders. Alfred approaches her with a gentle smile. She follows him back to the conference room. As Superman prepares to announce the League's decision, Hawkgirl steps forward.
Spent the last 5 years torn between my feelings and my duty. I won't ask you to do the same. Therefore, I am resigning from the Justice League, effective immediately.
Outside Wayne Manor, beneath a darkening sky, Hawkgirl and John Stewart share a poignant farewell. "Where will you go?" he asks gently. She gazes into the distance. "Someplace where the weight of the world isn't on my shoulders," she replies. "Someplace with no secrets, no lies."
Was it all a lie?
I love you, John. I never lied about that.
With that, she spreads her wings and ascends into the sky.
I love you too.
Thank you for watching Second Look. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more awesome videos. Have a nice day.